title. The title says what this is. This is day one of 9 questions. Okay, there are going to be 8 days with 9 questions. On the last day, we will have 2 questions, which kind of go super hand in hand. But actually, all these 9 questions go hand in hand. And we are going to be asking ourselves some questions, only 10 minutes a day of journaling to step into 2025 with new awareness and energy so that we're not repeating the same old patterns that we've been repeating again and again and again, perhaps without our awareness. Okay. So, these questions that I ask you are part of a self-reflection process because the thing is, you know your life better than anyone. I'm telling you that right now. It's always good to get some perspective from people who know you really well, maybe from some family members, maybe from some trusted work colleagues or something, but nobody knows your life better than you. And more than that, nobody should be setting goals for you other than you. Because even if people know your life and you know your life, but only you really know what's in your heart. You know the things that light you up, okay? So let's start by doing something I've seen so many other coaches and trainers do. I'm going to give you a few categories, okay? I'm going to give you, I think, 4 or 5 categories. And in these 4 or 5 categories, sorry about the camera movement. With these 4 or 5 categories, I want you to rate those categories in your life out of 10. Okay, so the first category we're going to jump straight in is your health. What would you give your health out of 10 if you were to grade your current health right now? Not over this year, no, 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 just now. And the way things are going today, right now. What would you give it out of 10? So write it down in your journal. I've got my journal right here, okay? And where's my pen? Pen's right here. So for health, out of 10, what will I give myself? The second category is relationships. Any type of relationships. Please do not think only of your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your significant other, relationships with your friends. If you want to put them all into different categories, you can do that too. Out of 10, what do you give them? Okay, now I want you to think of the next category, which is your career. If you're a student, think of your education instead of your career. What would you give that out of 10? Don't overthink it, just give it a number. And the next category is money. What would you give your money out of 10? Are you happy with what you're earning? Are you happy with how you're spending your money? Out of 10. Okay. And the fifth category I'm going to add in here. So these are the big four, right? Health, relationships, career, money. These are the things that a lot of people do want to perfect in their lives or want to be really healthy in their lives. But there's so many other aspects. So the fifth category I'm going to put in, and I want you to interpret that in any way that works for you. And that is my joy, my goals, my dreams, my desires. Okay. So I would just put that into, like, the way I would word it is heart's desires, my personal desires, my personal goals. Okay. So this cannot be a financial goal because money, that comes into money. This has to be something that you want to do within this lifetime. It's a desire for doing something, being something, having something, and you can have experiences too, right? That you really, really want in this lifetime. So, how is that going? Are you actually taking steps towards it? Give it a number out of 10. Now, I want you to look back at those numbers, and if in any category you have put a 6 or 7, I am cutting that out, canceling them out, okay? 6 and 7 is a very safe thing. It's a safe number. It's a safe sort of, judgment. And it's not about safety here. What I mean to say is Now, I used to fall into the trap of thinking, well, a few years ago, my health was really, really bad. My mental health, my physical health was okay, but my mental health was really bad. So I'm not where I want to be. So, I mean, if I'd see average compared to my past, I think I'd give myself a 6 or 7. No, that's not what we're doing. That's not how we're thinking. Now, imagine a person who runs a marathon. Okay, a person who is a runner, they're a professional runner and they're running a marathon. So as they're running a marathon in that race, imagine if they keep looking back and they're like, "Oh, I started all the way there. I'm okay where I am. Okay, okay, I'll just keep going. Yeah, 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 that was really good. Yeah, that was really far back. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not there. I'm still here. Keep going. Is that really a way to approach a goal? Is that really a way to feel good about life? I really don't think so. If we keep measuring where we are to where things were, or where we are to how bad we know it can be, we're stuck with our energy. Our energy is stuck with comparing ourselves in our present to the worst case scenario, to the worst rock bottom. And a lot of us have fears about like, oh, what if I go back there again? No, we have to live life without that anxiety, without that scarcity mindset. Yes, there was a time, let's say, when you were unemployed for a few months where you were not earning any money. So compared to that, obviously you're better off now. But that is not the goal, right? That's not what you consider to be 10 out of 10. So I want you to think about, where am I now compared to my 10 out of 10? And then give yourself a rating, which cannot be a 6 or 7. If you really are on track, if you really are so close to the ideal best, you can give yourself an 8 or a 9 or even a 10, right? But if you feel like I'm not really doing what I want to be doing, I'm not actually close to my goal, then give yourself less than a 5. Okay? Because we're no longer comparing ourselves to the past. We're no longer comparing ourselves to the worst case scenario, to our rock bottoms, because we've been through that now. It's not happening again. That's not where we're going to put our attention or our time or our energy or our money. Okay? Everything's now to be moving forward as we gear ourselves to get ready for the next year. So here, without me blabbering on, I'm going to go into the actual questions for today. So the question for today is, if I'm honest, do my current actions indicate that I will succeed? Okay, if I'm honest, do my current actions indicate that I will succeed? I wish I could write this down for you. After this live goes up, I'll put it in the description. That is your question for today. If I'm being honest, do my current actions indicate that I will succeed in the upcoming year? Because a change of date does not change our life. We make choices, often unconsciously, moment by moment by moment. You made the choice to watch this video, right? Now, if you answer no, I want you to ask yourself, in which areas, we talked about these 5 areas, but you can think about any other area that comes to mind. In which areas do I know I can improve? And what can I do to make those changes more effortless, easy, and joyful and fun? Okay, life has to feel really good. Life has to feel fun. So I'll give you an example of me. Like, for example, I really need to get my physical health in order. I have been panting a lot. I've not been eating very well, right? So, if I'm being honest, my current situation indicates that I will not succeed because every time I have a craving, I just go and get out my junk food, right? It's actually effortless and easy for me to order junk food through apps on my phone, through just going down to the nearest shop. So, I think if I keep going this way, my health is just going to get worse and worse and worse. So, in with this area, what can I do that will actually cause improvement? The first thing I can do is I can put a full stop to buying junk food. And I can give myself a strict thing where I will no longer order any. If I do want junk food, I have to physically go out to a shop, get the junk food, and come back home. Now, that will make the junk food even more expensive for me, which will deter me a little bit. But the second thing that will deter me is that if I go out, I'm going to have to make sure I take a shower. I'm going to make sure I'm, clothed appropriately to be out of my bed, out of my comfort zone, out of the warmth, because it's winter here. So if I really, really crave it, how do I make it effortless for me to say no? Right? The other thing I actually did just today is always making sure I have some delicious winter fruits in my house. So I literally ate so many fruits today because I made sure that my home was stocked up with delicious, healthy alternatives, right? That brings me joy. If at the moment I think of these fruits, I get excited about it. Look, I'm me and you're you. So this is just my example to illustrate how to do this. Okay, so that is the only question for today. These are very short, introspective journaling things. Let me just go to YouTube to see if there are any live comments here. And no live comments, that's perfectly fine. Please leave me a comment if you have any, if you have physically go out. If you have any, if you want to share your reflections, I would love to see them as well. And just know that I'm here for you, and we need to step into 2025 with clear intentions and more than that, self-awareness. And I know that's a very tough thing to do on your own. So I'm here for you, and we can do this day by day for the next 8 days. We're going to be answering 9 questions. So today's question was, in what areas of my life, if I'm being honest, what's the question? If I'm being honest, in which areas of my life do my current actions indicate that I will succeed or that I will fail, right? So once again, sorry, I messed up the wording, so I'll say it for the one last time. If I'm honest, do my current actions indicate that I will succeed? Just before I go, I got these questions from an Instagram account called at Recovered Procrastinator, and they share a lot of content based on education, so highly recommend it for students. I let them know that I was going to be creating a video series, and they were like, yeah, cool, go ahead. So I've taken their permission, and that's it. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching and participating. Start journaling, and I will see you tomorrow for the next question. Bye-bye.